There's 9 different things as an insurance agent or agency owner that you've got to know going into 2025. There's a few pieces that you should already have in place. Hopefully we'll talk about it. And then there's a few things that you should plan for the 2025 year as carriers open up, as the industry starts to grow more, and as your business starts to impactfully grow. Let's go into the 9 different tips. Hey, Pastor Mark, I just made this video, and before you guys watch it, there's a couple things I forgot to mention. Some ways to connect with us if you are interested in. I'm putting 3 links down there, well, probably 2. The first link is a wait list. So if you're looking to join my agency, we're looking at possibly bringing on 1099 agents. The second one is if you're like, forget that, I just want to be part of a network. There's a network that we were part of or are part of, and I'll put the link to them so that you can connect with them. And if you just want to go off and do your own thing, that's great. And then the third link is to join what we call a collab. And that's essentially kind of like a Facebook page, but it's off of Facebook. It's where I don't want a page where people can share your data back and forth in any type of insurance or finance. I'm going to start a community there to where we can connect. Enjoy the rest of the video. The first one is technology. So if you're not using any technology, you're already lost. Let me change the way that I say that. If it's just you and you're good at filing system, you can use a Rolodex. It works, right? If you have your organized system and you're not overloading yourself with customers and consumers, and you can handle 5 people every week or every couple days, and then you can filter it, you can follow up, do all of that. That's the slow growth, and that's fine. That's actually the original design of insurance agencies, is that slow impact. Unfortunately, there's people like me out there that have a CRM that does all the automation. It has an AI bot that can talk to the customer and answer questions. It has all of the things and the tools that just put me in front of that customer. So if someone refers me and you that same customer, I've already sold it before you even get the first phone call off. I'll be honest, it's just quick, snappy, and it's right in front of your face. It just functions correctly. When you set it up correctly, it works. There's 1,000 CRMs out there. There's your HubSpots and your Salesforce and all those fairly, I call them expensive ones. They're like $500 a month just for one person. To me, that's a lot. Versus like the ones we use, I think it's what, $197 a month or something like that. So it's, and then you can have up to 3 people or something. Anyways, that software I'll link in the description below, but that's allowed our agency to grow. And when you're comparing something that's kind of archaic to something that needs to be built, then you've really just got to make those steps forward. If you're building your own, it's going to take you 1 year to 2 years to build that out. If you've already bought one or purchased one or work with someone that has one, then you're good. Just work with that person. If you're not working with anyone, I'll put that link in the description below. The second piece is something I struggle with, which is using consumer-centric data. So that's essentially all of the profile of the customers that you've sold in the past. So if you're looking at $1 million book and you have, let's say, 300 customers or 200 customers, and you're saying, okay, where are they coming from? What's the best cities and zip codes that I'm insuring in? Am I marketing in the right places? And then, is this the fit for the business that I'm trying to build? Am I getting the right type of clients, or should I pivot and move over to a different scenario, maybe a different location? If you're trying to hit the wealthier homes, then you need to market in that wealthier location. And you got to find out, okay, where do these people live? What do they want to see? What type of advertisements do they respond to? So all of those pieces you're planning for, what do I have as far as my current data? Is it correct? If not, which way do we need to pivot to get back to where we need to be? Personally, I think you should have at least 1.5 to 1.8 policies per household. So if you're not selling home and auto at least every other sale, depending on the state, like Texas, it's like never, because there's no homes that are really competitive there. There are, but they're like $5,000 a year. So it gets a little crazy. In Michigan, we do a lot of home and auto together because the prices haven't jumped up. They're, $1,500 to $2,500 a year versus $5,000 in Texas. That's a lot easier to sell depending on the need, right? If you get into the wealthier homes, that's not an issue. We'll pay the extra fee to have that right type of policy. The other part is, how engaging is your customers? Are you putting out content that is engaging with them? Maybe it's a newsletter. You don't necessarily have to make a video like this, although that is more powerful. For us, it's calling every renewal, whether it went up or down. We go through the renewal. I actually pay someone to go through the renewals, find out what's changed, and then they send a note to the agent, and the agent calls that person, because we're trying to build a relationship more than we're just trying to get new customers. Yeah, we're trying to do both, but at the end of the day, we want to have that relationship where they can come to us and feel comfortable having some of the tougher discussions, because they'll understand that we're here for them. We're not just the once and done type of shop. And then, are you transparent and trustworthy? That's kind of a given. If you're not, then you shouldn't be in this industry anyways. Prices go up. They go up from inflation. They go up because of this. Claims shouldn't be claimed. And you should tell customers when they shouldn't have these. That's why you're an advisor or an agent, is so you can be there for the person to help them get through any scenario that they're in. I know I just did like 5 of them, but we'll say the third one is to look back at your budgeting to make sure that you're on track. Are you spending too much going out to eat? Are you spending too much on technology? If you're buying all the tech that I'm telling you gotta have and it's like way too expensive, if you're small and one person and have a $200,000 book, you still need it, but does it make sense? Can you talk with the company and make sure it's the right cost and what's the right fit, right? So all of those costs, you've got to just do your budget, your planning and your actual spend. And then you can go into the fourth one, which is plan for the finances ahead of time. So with your personal agent as an agent or an agency owner, whatever the case is, then you can plan, okay, I want to put this much into marketing. Always, always, always try to have a marketing budget, whether you're just going out to lunches with people, or you're actually running a Facebook ad, or you're running a Google ad, or you're doing YouTube type stuff. It either takes time or money, and sometimes it takes both. You've got to focus on that being the plan going forward as far as a cost. And if you don't plan on marketing and you're just like, whatever, you'll get to realize that you don't have as many customers if you're not paying attention to what's coming in as well as what's retaining. The fifth or sixth, I've already lost track, is to make sure that you're educated on the newest updates. For us, it's a little bit tough because they're in 12 different states right now. We're expanding into other states as need be, and it's like keeping up with the knowledge there. That's cool, and I get like 5 emails every hour on here's this and here's that, and you got to read them. It's unfortunately that part that just comes in and you just got to be updated. Keeping up with that, along with, if you are the owner, then you've got to figure out the new rules, and there's a BIODR now that you've got to file or whatever that thing is, and it's just like a form, takes 5 minutes. Don't pay someone to do it, just fill it out yourself. And being that advisor, that leads into the next piece, which is having to do the paperwork. And the paperwork may involve doing the numbers, right? The numbers not just for yourself. If you have agents, then you need to go through and plan their year, because if they're just doing what you've done and just, let's just go, let's just sell, let's just pitch, they're not going to be able to focus on where are they selling the most, what is their retention, how good is that policy per household, are they at or close to that 2 or higher, and then where is their growth plan, like what is their expectation to where they are now to where they need to be. So having them have a roadmap is probably more powerful than you having that roadmap, although you've got to have yours too, because they're going to follow you. Whatever roadmap you guys have created, it's good to share it and just show, okay, our agency's at 2 million, we want to get to 5 million in the next 3 years, here's how we're going to do that. This isn't going to be weeks of work, it's just planning what you've seen before. If you haven't, I'll give you examples later on in these videos. And then how can you get to that? And then the agent has their own personal goals. What are the milestones? What's my 1 year, my 3 year, my 6 months goal? And then how do I get to those levels that we need to be? Then when you're adjusting them every year, you can just adjust them. We didn't do that, or we did do that, so we need to make it worse or better, or just fine tune that to make sure that it's a fit. Did I get the right marketing? So now you're checking yourself to how you help that agent grow and get to that next level. Number 7 is keeping up. We kind of talked about this with the regulations. There's obviously new rules. There's new marketing rules, so be very careful if you're buying leads. There are new rules going into 2025 that are changing, so there's certain contacts you're allowed to make if the lead vendor is or isn't doing certain things. I'll make more videos on that later on, so subscribe if you want to follow that. Now, you're the one that gets in trouble if you're buying those leads. The vendor probably will a little bit, but you're gonna get fined. It's the people purchasing the leads that are on the hook when you're calling the leads or contacting the leads to make sure they've opted in correctly. Granted, you can go after the company you purchased them from. That's just the part of the contract. You've got to make sure that you're purchasing the right business from the right company. And the last one is adapting to, we're not going to say technology, it's adapting to the changes that have happened. TikTok's everywhere. Facebook's everywhere. You're seeing this video on YouTube, and YouTube has been phenomenal for my business. We get 200 leads a month plus in our agency alone, and we have 300 plus leads in excess. If you're interested in free leads, let me know. If you know what you're doing, and you want to join the free list, In the states that we're not licensed in, I do get a lot of outside states that come in, 300 plus leads come in, and so I just pass them out to other agents. So if you're knowledgeable and you're willing to help somebody, then let me know in the description below. Other than that, this year's gonna be good. I'm gonna make a couple more videos on specific things that we're doing. If you wanna see some of the adjustments that we're taking, try to do more live. I have my whiteboard back here and try to show you the plans that we have to grow past the 5 to 10 to $50 million mark and just grow an agency. If you are looking to work with an agency, I'll put our link in the description below. We're putting a wait list together for those that may want to work with us. And then, like I said, the technology is down there. That's essentially the programs that we use. And then if you're just trying to join a cluster, so if you want, like, I like your videos, Mark, but I want to work with you, show me a cluster that you've joined and how do I get into that? So I'll put that down there as well. And then if you're just looking to join our community, we actually have a community that just started. It's bare bones, like we're just getting it going. So it's for insurance agents, whether you're health, life, P&C like we are, we're gonna have you guys be able to collaborate there versus on Facebook. I don't want this to be a Facebook page where someone can share your post and just like, if you have questions, you got questions. Not everyone knows everything. And so we don't want people to feel like they're being taunted or being gone after for pasting something on Facebook. Anyways, if you have other things I've missed, put them in the description below. What are you doing for 2025? I'm Mark W. Flockhart. We'll see you soon.